Alright, welcome again to another edition of Kevin Rood's Garage. Today we're going to be continuing our diagnosis of this guy, the Johnson Model 300 lower unit. I'm going to go ahead and take it apart and see if we can figure out some of the problems we talked about in the last video. So let's get started. Excuse me. Alright, first thing we're going to do is remove this nut from the top of the anti-cavitation plate. I don't remember if I got to take the propeller off to get at the pump. I kind of suspect that I do, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Incidentally, for whatever reason, just about every nut on a Johnson and Evinrude boat motor is a 7/16. I don't know why that is, but if you're going to work on these guys, your best investment's right there, 7/16 inch screwdriver. Alright, so we got that top nut off. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got to take the propeller off to get this thing out of here. It's wedged in there for a reason. Alright, pair of pliers. Take out the cotter pin. Prop nut, propeller, shear pin. Well, kind of the aggravating thing is, as I mentioned in the last video, I've already replaced this gasket and taken off the propeller hub here. There's a good chance that gasket's going to get destroyed and I'm going to have to make another one, but what can you do? Just three screws and lock washers hold on the prop hub here. See if we can pry it off gently without busting anything. I doubt it, but a lot of times you just got to get these things started and then they'll pop right off. There we go. Oh, there's filter glass. Fall. Alright, well there's our water pump. Actually, I don't think I destroyed that gasket, so maybe we got lucky a little bit. What piece fell out of there? Oh, there's a little washer here. Alright, so here's the water pump I was telling you about before. As I mentioned, it's a piston. You can see the piston right here at the bottom. And as the eccentric would rotate around, that piston would pop up and down, pumping the water. Now, one of the problems we talked about in the last video, you can see is in fact happening, and that some of the grease from the lower unit has in fact worked its way into the water pump. You can see the grease I just wiped off. So we'll have to figure out how to staunch that. Here's how the piston works, by the way. There's just a copper spring in there, and it just moves that guy up and down. This is another one of the problems, and actually this isn't as bad as I recall it, but remember I talked about the bottom of the piston being a little warped because of the running on the eccentric? I'm going to grind that flat, although that's not quite as bad as I remember it. That shouldn't be too awful. Alright. We'll look in here. Alright, well I'd mentioned too that it's got a couple of ball valves in here. I can see one of them up in there. You probably can't see it on the camera. Maybe shine a light in there. There it is. See that silver ball way down the bottom? That's one of your ball valves right there. We can get that out from this big screw at the top, hopefully. I'm going to have to come up with something for that. Just trying to see if I can... Oh, there we go. There's this guy right here. That's the eccentric I was talking about. When you rotate the prop shaft, you can see how that prop shaft does not go through the center. It does not go through the center of the eccentric. It's kind of off center, which is what makes it rotate in an uneven manner and moves that piston pump up and down. So that's where it lives. Now, like I said, somebody told me there's two ball valves in here. I see the one. I'm betting that the other one is located right in here on that inlet screen. Or is supposed to be located there. Let's see if in fact it is. Yeah, I don't think I got a big enough wrench with me here. Let's see if we can get at it with this. Yep, there we go. Yep, there's another ball valve. Try not to do that. There it is right there. It's a little ball bearing. Come right out of there where the at the top of the inlet. There you can see there's the seat where it sits. So the water will lift that, when the water comes in, the water lifts it up, lifts up the ball, allows the water to flow through. Alright, so I think we have ruled out one of our potential problems, being one of the ball valves are missing. I've got both of them. We saw the other one already, which was on the other side of this screw. And then this one here we just looked at. So that's one of our problems diagnosed away. And you can actually hear both of them rattling around in there, which says to me that they're going to operate properly. Okay, so now what do we got to do? Well, there we go. Get that back on there tight. What I just did there, there's a drive shaft obviously down in here. You can see that. When I pulled the prop shaft out, the drive shaft slipped down a little bit and couldn't get the prop shaft back in, so just turned it upside down. It went back up, prop shaft got back in there. I think I got lucky with that gasket. I think I could probably still use that. We'll kind of see how things go. One thing I'm not sure of is how in the heck you're supposed to prevent grease from getting inside of your piston pump here. Where'd that? Anyway, find the spring in a minute. But piston pump goes in here. This goes down in here. The grease is right in there, where it's supposed to be in the lower unit. I don't know how we're supposed to prevent any grease from... Oh well, I see now. Maybe that... I guess if it gets on here it's okay. You just don't want it on the spring perhaps. Alright. So what else are we looking at? Ball valves are good. Grease hopefully is good. I'm not sure how you're supposed to keep it out of there. I guess I'm supposed to grind that somehow. I'll have to find something to grind that with. What else were we looking at? Guess that was about it, huh? That area was already clear. We think we've got our crack repaired with the rapid fix. Alright, I guess it's just a matter of grinding off that piston, putting it back together and seeing what happens.